Our foreign policy, especially with the African continent, is that this continent is one. It has always been one. And you can't say, I don't like apartheid, I don't like colonialism, but I support borders. The borders were imposed on us by the colonialists during the scramble for Africa. And therefore, in undoing the work of colonialism, the borders have to be done away with. And you can't say, when you do away with the borders, these people are going to come into South Africa because they are starving where they are. We are starving in Limpopo. All we're doing is, my sister, if you want to go to Nigeria to go and try some business opportunities or anything of that sort, wake up in the morning and go. Why are the Europeans allowed to do it? They eat breakfast in Milan, in Italy, and go and sleep in Paris.
CSC, I just want to ask in relation to foreign policy. People come to our country under the auspice of asylum seeking. They open spaza shops, sell fake goods to our vulnerable communities. What is the EFF stance in relation to that?
Well, we don't agree with fake and expired food. That's the bottom line. And we, as the EFF, from time to time at the branch level, we go visit the shops to check the expiry dates and all of that. My problem is that we now associate fake food and expired food exclusively to those ones who are found in the villages and in the township, as if those are the people who can sell such things. And SPAR, I said this publicly many times, they've never challenged me. SPAR sells expired food. But because it's white-owned, no one speaks about that. It's like, no, expired food is associated with these ones and all of that. South Africa has got a right to protect its own economy, including small businesses and all of that. We must not avail our own properties to these people and then complain after that these people have come to open spaza shops, because none of these people has forced anyone. Actually, in front of my grandmother's house, one of them is there. He was in a shop that we grew up. That shop was there. Then I don't know what happened. They fought. Then he went next door. If you look at the design of their shops, are the same, and the color, they're colorful. And people say, these people come here and do this. But my question is, you guys give them the space to do what they are doing. And then you come back to complain. Our foreign policy, especially with the African continent, is that this continent is one. It has always been one. And you can't say, I don't like apartheid, I don't like colonialism, but I support borders. The borders were imposed on us by the colonialists during the scramble for Africa. And therefore, in undoing the work of colonialism, the borders have to be done away with. And you can't say, when you do away with the borders, these people are going to come into South Africa because they are starving where they are. We are starving in Limpopo. There's no border between us and Gauteng. But we have not left our homes there, and Limpopo is peoplesless because they went to Gauteng where there are resources, and because there is no border, they are flocking there. No one will ever abandon their countries to come here. All we're doing is, my sister, if you want to go to Nigeria to go and try some business opportunities or anything of that sort, wake up in the morning and go. Why are the Europeans allowed to do it? They eat breakfast in Milan, in Italy, and go and sleep in Paris without a hassle. And we are not allowed because the unity of Africa is a threat to certain people. There is no, and I say this all the time, they say, no, these foreigners take our jobs and all of that. I say, if we find a foreigner working here at Kaya FM, he didn't employ himself. He was employed by the bosses here. So you cannot fight this one. You have to fight the bosses that we must be given a preference, which we agree with. But let's not allow them to make us fight amongst ourselves because they enjoy that. They hire foreigners and then they come to you and say, you can't get jobs because foreigners have taken jobs all over. But who employs these people? It's the same people who are saying foreigners have taken jobs.
Mr. Malema, let's talk about the elections, the upcoming elections. Of course, you would like to win 50 plus 1. Of course, that's what you would like to get. Many say the same thing. No poll says that there will be one majority. That's not to say polls are always right. That's not to say that. But what would be your second best option? What would be the best case scenario outside of winning the majority?
Well, the best option is that you go into a coalition.
Yes.
So once the voters don't give anyone a decisive majority, they are saying to you, it's a loud whispering, you guys have to work together. So we have to navigate it through principles. And not only principles, but the kind of leadership and leadership you are bringing to the fore. And I was giving an example this morning that if I had to bring in Ndlozi and say, we're going to coalition with the ANC in Gauteng, we want premiership, yes, in Ndlozi. The ANC says, we want premiership, yes, Lesotho. And then I leave it to you, the voters, and say, okay, look at the two. Nowhere does Lesotho come close, not only in looks, in everything, in all respect, close to Ndlozi. Ndlozi is one guy who was favored by God. He's got the brains, the lady says he's got the looks, I don't know that. And then he's got humility, he's got a voice to sing. I've never seen everything in one person. That's the kind of people who are giving you. And you will have to make a decision. But the other thing, which every time people say, oh, Ndlozi, they jump to me. So I know there's going to be the last statement which is going to be made. They say, but you are too short. That's very important. So now so I bring this, and then you bring Panyaza, who goes around faking jobs, faking letters, creating an impression, is giving people jobs and calling people. Even apartheid never did that. Will come and collect your appointment letter, come and display your poverty at Orlando Stadium, and then we must give you a letter that from now onwards you are employed. When I made that application for my dignity, I did it alone. I was not in a stadium. You gave me an email address, I made my application, gave me the address, I put in the envelope, I came there. So now why must I be announced?
So you speak of principles guiding how you're going to negotiate.
Yes.
Let us say in the event that you get very close, and the ANC says, look, let's talk. You've said yourself, in politics, no friends forever, no enemies forever. These things can be negotiated,
right? We talk to everyone. We talk to DA.
And I'll come to that scenario. I'll come to that. You are, for now, the enemy number one, but maybe it won't be for long.
Absolutely,
who knows? This is politics. Yeah. In the scenario where the ANC does come and say, let's talk after the elections, let's talk, we can do this, right? And their candidate remains Cyril Ramaphosa as the president, would that be a deal breaker for you?
Absolutely. Cyril, you guys must get someone who, with courage, to just do a documentary about Cyril. Cyril didn't attend Mandela's inauguration because he was angry at Nelson for not putting him as a deputy president. Because the Oppenheimers have been touting him that he will be Mandela's deputy president. The Cyril has been self-seeking, and he has been saving the Oppenheimer and the Minel family and all of them with loyalty, not now. From the 70s. From the 70s, Cyril has been working with these people. Cyril went to establish a new NUM, a union of mine workers without being a mine worker. Cyril has never been a mine worker. Cyril has never been underground a mine. He went to school to do law. When he came back, he served as a legal officer in the Oppenheimer family. Then there was a commission of investigating black workers' conditions or something like that, which came with recommendation that unions of black workers must be recognized. Upon realizing, the Oppenheimers, that now these people are going to be recognized, they're going to cause a problem, sponsored the formation of the NUM. For some reason, he found himself in the UDF, then in the reception committee of Nelson Mandela. So when Mandela walks out of Portsmouth prison, you must look at that video. You don't know whether Cyril is a bodyguard or what, but he's there giving the car direction. By the wall is the one who's holding the mic. This guy is infiltrating Nelson. When Nelson arrives, sleeps one night in Soweto, and then comes back comes to Johannesburg. With which money? From where? And then he stays in the Minel's family house. Now, the Minel are one of the big mining families in South Africa. So when you say he stayed in Minel's family house, you're thinking, oh, maybe it's a complex. Same house. He meets Minel's children on the passage wearing gowns. Minel's child, when Mandela passed on, said, we used to see the names we see on TV at our house because these people used to come there and meet Nelson. He moves from Minel, he goes to Sexen Hotel. He moves from Sexen Hotel, he goes to Houghton. We who have been working, we have now been to prison. When we buy houses ourselves, we get questioned, how can Malema buy a house in Sandton? Mandela bought a house in Houghton. With which money? Where did Mandela get money to buy the house? This one, Cyril, was at the center of compromising Nelson. So if there is anything that white establishment and the Oppenheimers in particular have on us, is Cyril Ramaphosa.
There you have it, guys. Julius Malema is usually full of these revolutionary speeches. Sometimes you wonder where he gets them from. But whatever the case is, we really hope that his wisdom transcends, and really contributes to the development of Africa and in helping solving Africa's really myriad of challenges. But what do you guys think about his speech? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemi as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.